This Pax Dei video is all about the real guide to combat in Pax Dei. None of this, no cheesing allowed, no using exploits. No, I'm going to show you every exploit, every cheesy way to fight, where you can solo mobs, you can solo mob camps, you can solo dungeons, you can solo bears, and that's where we're going to start. And again, this is purely for solo players. This will not cover any kind of group player or guild or clan, anything related to that kind of stuff, nothing. Let's get started. First and foremost, everything in this game has a ranged attack except for rabbits, bears, deer, boars, wolves, and will-o-wisps. So what this means is that you can kill these creatures completely for free without them being able to retaliate if you are on something they can't climb up. So, for example, I have a bear chasing me, a black bear. And all I have to do is, well, let's see if he's going to de-aggro me. Oh no, he hit me for 49 damage, and now he's backing off. So let's get his attention once again. There he comes. And now if I jump on this, he can't get up here. He will be forced to sit there and do absolutely nothing. He is managing to hit me, though. So I need a bigger platform. Now, when I say something that they can't climb on, they can climb on this because this has a stairway. So that is something a bear can climb. You got to be careful with that. It has to be a platform that the enemy that you've aggroed cannot walk up. If you can just manually run up something, then it can climb it. It can also jump off or go around. So this little platform will not work, but there are many things that will work. For instance, this water well. I could jump on this and I could fight a bear on it, and there's many other examples too. And to figure out if something can run up something, just simply walk into it. In this case, I can run up these stairs, so that would not work. And there's the bear. But because I can climb up on, well, maybe climb up on that. Here, let's just walk up here and then jump on this, and that'll work. There we go. So now, when I aggro the bear, it will just sit there and do nothing. Now, the way to trick the AI is preferably you want something that you can climb up on, because once I drop to the ground, it's going to run at me, as you can see here. There we go. And then I can try jumping up here. And now it's going to just sit there, and I can use a weapon and just kill it. I can just freely solo this bear. Now, there's a lot of other ways to solo bears, especially if you don't own a plot, or you're not near a plot where a bear is. So for instance, a lot of people can just pull out their hammer, and then you can just slap down a plot, and then you can just build a foundation and kill the bear that way. But there's other ways. Now, there's a few things you can use. In a forest, you have these really small trees. Now, if you try to run at this tree and vault it, you're going to climb it, and then you're going to kind of slip off of it. So here is the secret sauce on how to climb these kinds of things without falling off the top. Instead of running or holding W at the tree and then jumping and climbing up on it, because that'll just drop you off like so, what you have to do is stand still next to it, jump up, and at the very peak of your jump, push W once, and you'll climb it at the peak of your jump, not from the bottom. So it looks like this. And now, it doesn't always work though, so you have to try it a few times. You have to get the timing exactly right, but it will allow you to stand on the tree. And what you want to do is find a tree that's a little more reliable, because what you'll have to do to get the enemy under you to stand on, and in the higher level zones there are way easier trees to stand on, but these are some pretty bad examples. So what you have to do is you have to ranged attack the enemy you want to fight, in this case the bear, from the ground and then vault onto the tree. And by doing so, the bear will walk all the way up and then stand under you. Whereas if you stand on the tree and shoot an arrow at the bear, then in that case the bear will just stay in place like it is right now and it won't move. And it'd be easier if I showed you this on like a better, more reliable trees. But another trick that you can do, and in these higher level zones you can't even chop the trees with a wrought iron pickaxe, is you can simply just chop a tree down, and the felled tree is something that a bear can't climb up on. So I'm going to chop this down real quick. So in this case, this felled tree, you can stand on top of it, and then the bear can't get you. Now, in this case, this bear might actually be bugged out. So let's see. Yeah, he's stuck. So if you bug out an enemy enough times, they will be like rooted in place. And sometimes they won't even be aggressive anymore. In this case, if I stand near it or on top of it, yeah, this bear, he's lost his bite. He is non-aggressive. He won't fight back. And he's just an easy kill. Now, sometimes also when enemies bug out like this, their health will rapidly regenerate, so you could use them as like a weapon leveling kind of dummy if you want. I'll touch a little bit more on fighting animals, but for now I want to talk about fighting humanoids because that's probably why you clicked on this video. So when fighting humanoids, you can use similar tactics, but humans have ranged attacks. Spellcasters will cast spells, and everything else will pull out a bow and shoot you. Some of them use the bow by default, and others have melee by default. You can tell what their default weapon is by looking at the mob and seeing what weapon he has drawn whenever he does not have aggro with anybody. So this Inquisition Assessor is a bow user. Now, if you get in melee range, he will switch to melee attacks, which in this game, the bows currently do almost nothing. This guy is a mace user. This one is a caster, you can tell by his little wizard robes and staff. And they will melee you, and their melee hits really hard, so you don't want them to melee you. And there are different techniques for killing different enemies. We have some more bow users. We have a maul guy. And again, you can solo all of these, no problem. It's super easy to kill them. I'm going to show you how to do this without magic, without food buffs, and without steel armor or equipment or weapons. I just want to show you. Yes, I do have magical gear equipped, which actually lowers my defense. My slash defense and blunt defense, that's the two things I'm going to be hit by, is maces, hammers, and swords. Is like not even 50. So yeah, and you can see I just have like the basic like chainmail pants too. You know, basically, like 2 pieces of chainmail, or I guess the boots too. So I don't have a lot of defense. I do have a health buff active for 15 hours. What the hell? How do I have a buff for 15 hours? This game is broken. But I'm gonna tell you all the little strategies. We'll start with ranged mobs, and the easiest way to kill the ranged mobs in a 1v1. And I'm going to talk about more than 1v1s in a bit, but for instance, this ranged mob, we're going to shoot him, and what he will do is, now that we have aggro, he's going to then aim his bow at us. He's going to stop, and he's going to draw his bow, and then he's going to shoot. All you have to do is strafe left or right, and he will never hit you. That's all you have to do. He doesn't have any kind of tracking. He has no way to, like, hit you when you're doing this. You will never take a hit. And all you have to do is shoot at them, and then strafe left and right. Or, if you want, you can just block, and, yeah, I take no damage. And the stamina damage is so low that I regenerate my stamina, so I can sit here and tank this guy indefinitely if I want to, right? And so, like, I can just walk to, I don't even have to run. I can just, you know, left and right walk. Okay, well, that one hit me. But it doesn't hit for that hard, right? It's a very weak hit. And what you can do is you can run up and you can melee them, and then you can run away. You don't want to stay in melee. Do not stay in melee because they will start using melee attacks, and that is bad. So against melee, there are ways to cheese the fight. Now, against melee, I'll show you how to fight them fair, how to fight them evenly with no exploits, and then I'll show you how to fight them with exploits. So, exploits is short for exploit. Let's go ahead and shoot this conduit. Now, this is a support melee. He has spells that he can cast to heal himself and his party. You generally don't want to have this guy fighting you when he's around his teammates, but to fight him fairly, you lock on, you hold your block button, wait for him to swing on you. When they swing, they will get staggered, and that will give you a little bit of time to attack. While they cast a buff on themselves, which is what he's doing now, you would attack. So there's the stagger, go ahead and poke him, and while he's casting spells, go ahead and poke him. So that's the normal way to fight this guy. You would also shield stun before they swing, and then you can do your big attack if you want. That's basically how to fight these dudes. And with a good enough shield or good enough armor, you take, like, no damage. Like, his big swing here hit me for 1.5 chip damage. I can tank this almost all day if I want to. Especially if you have health regeneration food, which you don't really need. Now, when you pull this guy, like I said with the tree method earlier, if you're standing on a tree or somewhere they can't reach, they will immediately start using a bow, which you don't want. You want them to run at you in melee range. And I'm gonna... Well, I'll just kill this guy. I'll show you on another melee. So let's just kill him normally. Go ahead and start poking him. So, there we go. We block the swing. That puts him in stagger. He's doing a special attack. We can interrupt it, or we can just spam attacks. He's, like, super dead, right? Go ahead and poke him again. There we go. He's dead. Pretty easy stuff. Worthless drop. Absolutely. Let me pull another one. Before that, though, let me teach you about multiple targets. So, if you aggro multiple enemies, all you have to do is run away. And as soon as their nameplates turn white, that means they have dropped combat. And all you have to do is ranged attack the one you want to kill, and he will continue to pursue you while the other ones return to base. So you can infinitely pull enemies as long as you clear the entire base camp before respawns, which are 30 minutes long. So against the tougher melee enemies, especially heralds, which we have here, Sometimes they have a charge attack, which will make them run insanely fast at you. But like I said, what you want to do is find a climbable object like this tree. Let's see if we can climb this tree. And there we go. And if I shoot at the Herald, what's going to happen, he won't run at me, which I completely missed the shot there. So if you're on a climbable object, when you start combat, they will stand in place and bow you. You don't want this. What you want to do is have them... I'm just going to kill this guy real quick because we've already covered range. And I'm just going to face tank him because screw it, who cares? It's much quicker that way. Okay, that's a caster. I'm going to cover those in a bit. So that guy can wait. Don't worry. I'm going to teach you the easy way to cheese casters too. So cheesing melee is pretty simple, especially if you can if there's anything you can climb up on, that's all you need to do. So if I climb up on here, now I've got a ranged guy to take care of. I really need to take care of the ranged guy, but I can tank his arrows. Now this Judicator, I don't know why he was able to slash me there, but his AI is going to be like, oh, he's on a ledge, so he swaps the bow. And again, I don't know why he's also meleeing me all of a sudden. Also, here comes a... Yeah, I've got too many ranged on me. I've got to back off. But essentially, we can force them, and for whatever reason, they can't go down this staircase, which is hilarious. Lots of little things like that in dungeons. But let me try to find a one-on-one. Alright, so let's try to find a tree that we can climb up on. And I don't want to aggro him by being too close, but this looks like a good enough tree. So we're going to climb on top of it there. Make sure we don't slip off. We did. Let's try the jump, standing still, and then climb up method. That works. There we go. Now, when we aggro this guy... We're going to be too high up for him to melee, so he's going to do, he's going to come and face us, and he's going to either attempt, now he's just going to bow us. So to stop this from happening, you have to aggro him on the ground, which will then have him switch to melee, and then you need to climb up on the tree. So he's going to run up under us, realize he can't melee us, which I guess he could there, but he doesn't know that. And now he swapped a bow, and now we're being bowed. So at this point, we just poke him to death. And you can fight, as long as you can tank the arrows or have some kind of sustain from the arrows, like, you know, heal over time food or even healing magic, which is really easy to get. And I'm going to talk about getting magic as a solo in a little while later in the video. But that is how you deal with melee. Now let's teach you how to deal with casters. So I want to talk about dealing with casters, especially the early ones. What's going to happen is these early casters have fire magic, and... if you fight higher level mobs, they have mind magic. So that's the only kind of magic I've seen so far is fire magic and mind magic. I haven't seen ice or any other element. Corrupted enemies, like corrupted boars, have poison. So what I tried to do was I stacked as much fire resistance as I could with food buffs. I stacked up like 90 fire resistance, and you know what happened? I still took insane damage over time from being caught on fire. The fireballs still hurt the hell out of me. And it sucked. But what I discovered is that being caught on fire is based on your maximum health count. So if you have food buffs that give you more HP, those are actually better than fire resistance. And you can feel free to test this out if you want. I tested out on several different casters that cast fire spells. And in this case, for this video, I'm not running any buffs, but I'm going to show you a few things too. With a shield, you can block the fireball's damage, but you will still have the ability to be caught on fire, which is being hit by multiple fireballs. So, the best way to fight a caster, you cannot use the tree method, sort of. You can and you can't. The tree method is very risky, because if they do an AoE fire circle, it still hurts you sometimes. And if you force a caster into a ranged fight, they don't use a bow, they use fireballs over and over and over. So what you want to do is you want to basically fight them in melee, but not have them melee, but you want to fight them close to corners, or close to geometry, like walls and stuff. And the reason why is when they cast a fireball, if you step around a corner, they are stuck in place, and their fireball will hit a wall and deal nothing to you. So, I recommend a two-handed weapon when fighting casters, unless you really want to block or whatever, or, you know, shield slam him, that's totally fine. But let's aggro this caster, and as soon as we aggro, he's going to cast Fireball. So we're going to aggro him. There we go. There's the well, you can also range him. I'm just going to range him. Okay, here we go. Woo! Now he's going to cast Fireball as soon as he can, and I messed up and didn't go around the corner. And I'm also standing in his fire puddle. So he's going to cast another Fireball now, and I'm going to go around the corner. He's going to go around this corner, because he can't go down these stairs. Or, I'm messing up. Okay, I'm messing up. I'm sorry. But we're going to get this right. And it's easier to fight these guys indoors than outdoors. So I like to just bow them down. Now he's going to come for the fire circle. There it is. So I just stepped away and now I'm near a corner. He's going to fireball me now. And then I'm going to step around the corner. There we go. Fireball hits the wall. Arrow him again. And then, well, I totally couldn't run from that fireball. But you get the idea. When you're fighting indoors, it's way, way easier to deal with these guys than outdoors. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, I am really bad at showing the example, but there's some other casters in here, and they're pretty easy, right? They're pretty easy once you have this little method down. There is a herald, so I'm just gonna climb up here, deal with him. He is gonna hit me, yeah, or he's gonna try to. Yeah, he's gonna cast his little spell. That's fine. He's gonna switch to bow. There, he's switching to bow, and he's already dead. So there we go. See, melee is easy, range is easy. Oh, I'm getting bowed by this guy. So again, we can take him. Just go ahead and poke them. And some ranged enemies with the polearm, which is what I'm using, the two-handed spear, you can just sit here and trade with them. Their bows aren't going to hurt you, especially when you have armor on. When I have full chainmail armor, the bows hit for like 3.9. Not too bad. Now, against two melees, which I know it still says versus caster at the top, we have to, again, just kind of use the bow to aggro them. There we go. And then because I aggro them on the ground, when I climb up, they're going to run towards me. There they go. And they're going to swing, and now they're going to switch to bow. And the other guy, where did he go? Did I not? Oh, he's bowing me already. Okay. I climbed the wall too fast. There we go. So this guy's down. There we go. Go ahead and just loot him. Now we're going to jump on the ground and let him charge. He's going to run at us now. There we go. Then we're going to climb back up. And you got to be careful when climbing. I'm doing a little hasty, but there we go. Now he's going to switch to bow. And we're just going to trade with him. And that's the fight. That's how to do, multiple enemies and whatnot. So now, again, we have a caster. I need to check my ammo. I have 10 shots left. We can kill him in 10 shots. So we're going to fire. We're going to bait his fireball. There we go. And boom, into the wall it went. There we go. He's now going to do the fire circle. We're not going to stand in that. He's going to fireball once again. And we're going to, just kind of line of sight him around the corner. If you remember Athene from World of Warcraft, around the corner, you know exactly what that is. In this case, we're just going to eat his attacks. I can just tank this. You don't have to. You can sidestep it. And again, easy fight. Now, sometimes mobs are glitched. I killed this mob through the wall by stabbing through the wall and killing him. So, that's always fun. I don't think I can loot him, though. Also, this guy's, like, going crazy down there. See if I can jump and loot him. Oh, nope, didn't work. Okay. Climb the wall, because here... Oh, I just aggroed a bunch of other dudes. Yeah, so you gotta be careful with who you're aggroing. Also, this game has a pseudo-stealth mechanic. If you are not running and an enemy is not directly looking at you, you can get very close to them. Like, I can walk up to this guy right here, and I could do, like, a special attack. Now, if I jump or make any noise, see, like, I don't have aggro. Whereas if I start running, though, and I'm running, I'm jumping, I'm running. Okay, well, he still doesn't see me. But, so I guess it doesn't matter if you walk. But I swear it does sometimes. But as long as you are not directly in front of them, they can't see you. So you could open with a big old hit and just trade with them if you have the armor or the weapons. I have the weapons in the level, so I can just trade with this guy, no problem. I took 20 damage. So, pretty easy. If you have health regeneration food, like, especially later on, about mid-level cooking 15, 18, which only takes a few hours to get if you really play the game, it is super easy to level up to. And, again, once you have a stronger weapon, I don't have steel weapons. Now, this is, this guy here, again, I'm just gonna trade with him. Now, he's trying to heal himself, but he's already dead, so, woo! Let's see, the Assessor, that's the bow guy, we can just trade with him. So just sit here, just stab them. And again, if they have their back to you, you get an opener, a free opener. But most of the time in dungeon... Oh, small animal hide, screw you, man. Get out of the loot table. Most of the time, they're going to be facing you. Like this guy here, see how he has immediately aggroed me? But I can just run up and poke him. There we go. So that's like almost all of his health. Alright, go ahead and loot that. And again, you can clear these camps completely solo very, very quickly. Now, this guy I don't want to trade with, so we use the ledge method, because he hits way too hard, he has too much health, not advised. And what you're going to do is you're going to grind these camps until you unlock magic. So, let me show you what the camp looks like. It looks like a weird kind of tower with like a cave entrance kind of thing. These are the easiest humanoids in the game right here. And they're all over the map. I'll just pick a random spot on the map, and like, here's some... And like over here at Jura, here's a bunch. And so yeah, they're all over the place. These are called Inquisitors. I don't really know their official name, but that's what their names are. Now sometimes in these camps they will have named NPCs. So you'll notice that, like, I've been killing assessors, heralds, and why is the combat music on? So I've basically cleared out this whole camp, and I did it in less than 15 minutes. And you know, a lot of the times I was pausing to get a good shot. Okay, what do we have? A conduit? All right, I'm just gonna man fight him because why not? He's gonna hit me once. He's gonna start casting a spell, and okay, he's gonna hit me twice. That's fine. So there we go. But sometimes, usually in the middle or in the back of the camps is a named mob. In this specific camp, the named mob is actually, he spawns up here in the wall. Is there a caster? I hear someone fighting. Okay, yeah, see where this guy just spawned in? That's actually a named NPC spawn point. And someone must be fighting. I hear, like, spells being cast, or oh, there he is. Yeah, so he's not aggroed though. What is going on? What is that noise? What is happening? I don't know who's making all this racket, but so yeah, let's see. Let's just poke the adjudicator down. And I don't know the ranged attack of all weapons, but I highly recommend the two-handed spears, the pole arms, and the reason why. Oh, there we go. There's another guy down there. Can I reach him? Maybe, maybe not. Is he gonna bow me? Let's see. Yeah, come on, get closer, pal. Oh, you're just out of reach. All right, we're just gonna duck around the corner here. But yeah, so when you are just starting your journey on weapon smithing, weapon crafting, the simple spear, very easy to get to, and oh, there he is. Okay, he's gonna start meleeing me now, so I'm gonna climb. Oh, look, they're all here. They've all respawned. Like I said, 15-minute respawns. I'm just gonna run away for now. Again, don't take the fight if you're like low on HP and whatnot, if you don't have any heals, etc., etc. But the point is that early on in your weapon smithing, you know, it takes like a few hours to grind out. You're gonna be able to get a simple spear, no problem. It's literally just regular iron, okay? And it has a huge reach, and that's how you can cheese these humanoid fights. Anyway, back to the magic discussion. So, you'll notice that these like cracked lockets and worn out lockets, these are part of what you need to craft the magical items. They're going to drop different looking amulets, and it's only from the named mobs. And when you get them, you will then unlock the recipe. And one of the first ones is what I'm wearing here. This is a healing helmet called the Cap of Reassurance. It's just a 20 HP heal. This is what it looks like. And, you know, you pop this on, boom, 20 HP. What this does is this nullifies the need for health regeneration food, meaning you can now focus on defense boosting food. You can focus on any other type of food that you may want. But I just cleared this camp, and there's no named mob in the back, so it's kind of a waste for me to continue farming it. But these Inquisitor dudes are who drops the cap. A few other magical items that I also have is, this is called Hands of the Lector. This is the 20 HP buff, so it's basically like a really crappy food buff, but it doesn't take up a food slot. And then the other one I have is this Demon Hunter's Tunic, which is Mesmerize, which allows you to stun a target basically indefinitely, and later on you can also get a drop that shoots a fireball. And once you have Fireball and Mesmerize, you can kill anything in the game, like one-on-one. You can Fireball it, Mesmerize it, Fireball it, which is it's now on fire, taking damage over time, and then you Mesmerize it, and it will sit there stunned, asleep, or whatever Mesmerize means, and it will just burn to death, and you will take no damage ever. But as soon as you have the healing helmet, which is like tailoring level 14, it took me a few hours to grind out. Everything took me a few hours, I swear. You could man fight most of the enemies, as long as it's a 1v1. Now this is a 1v3 because, well, that guy just immediately dropped aggro. That's weird. Okay, is he coming? Is he running down here? Like, I could probably just man fight this dude, right? So let's just stab him. He's gonna hit me pretty hard there. I'm hitting him pretty hard. I can take 2 more hits. He can take 1 more. Boom, man fight, done, right? Now normally, if you don't have health, like food buffs ticking to give you more health over time, and you don't have heal, that's it, you're done. You killed 1 mob, you can't kill anymore, it's time to go farm, right? But with a healing helmet, well, I can just cast this every 6 seconds. I'll be at full health in like less than 30 seconds, no food buff necessary, and I could just man fight the next mob and the next mob and the next mob and the next mob. But I wanted to teach you how to fight the humanoids without magic and without food buffs and without armor and without steel weapons, because it was something I struggled with in alpha. It was something I struggled with for my first 100 hours of this game, because all the other YouTubers, the reason the other YouTubers aren't teaching you these techniques is simple. They signed a contractual agreement to get the game for free, for one. They signed an agreement that basically said they weren't allowed to post exploits or cheese or game-breaking bugs to be used, you know, for an advantage. And so they're all teaching you how to fight bears with their guild or how to fight bears with food buffs. That's stupid. We can fight an infinite number of animals by climbing up a tree and poking them with sticks. As I'm gonna go find like 10 wolves and show you. But before I do that, there's one other thing I just want to talk about too, and that is farming the rare drop, because once you spend a few hours farming these mob camps, and you have plenty of those cracked and worn lockets, you don't need to keep farming them, right? So what you do is almost all of these bases have a way to climb up from the back. And all you have to do is get within range to see their nameplates or see their character design, and you'll learn what they look like. And you can free cam by pushing F7 and then holding Alt and mouse wheeling up so you can move around quickly. And you could look for the named mob, and if they're there, you can aggro the named mob and then run it through the camp, and as long as you're pegging it with arrows constantly, it will continue to hold aggro, and its teammates will eventually drop combat. And then you just lure the named mob out here, you climb up a tree and you cheese it, and you get the rare drop. And then you wait an hour or however long it takes for them to respawn. It's like 30 to 45 minutes for the rare mobs to respawn, and that's how you farm the rare mobs. But right now on my server, I have mega guilds. Like I have a guild of 70 people, a guild of 100, a guild of 120, and they constantly patrol these zones. And so every time the boss spawns, like 10 dudes show up and just gank them. So I have to get on at 4 in the morning and farm these, unfortunately. That's just how I have to do it. But yeah. I also want to point out that if you're like brand new to the game, you can technically skip hours of waiting for iron to smelt. Also, you can do this on a new server or on a new character if you wanted to like change servers. You go straight to the mob camp with a pointy stick, completely naked, and you can farm iron ingots. You can just go straight to iron ingots. You don't even need the furnaces or anything, right? And it's just such an easy way to skip a whole lot of the early content. Also, when mob farming, except for dungeons, of course, if you're low on arrows, just chop a tree down. There we go. And then you can go to craft, and you can craft the wooden arrow sticks. And if you need a weapon, like if your spears break, you can craft a pointy stick, which has the same reach as the two-handed spears. Like, you're never not without a weapon or a ranged option. The only time you would be is if your bow breaks, but these bows take so long to break. So yeah, just cut down a tree, craft you some arrows, so you can continuously pull mobs. So here we have some named mobs. This is Manic Torturer, Wary Ostiary, Inquisitor Veritaeus, and Inquisitor Pura. Now, obviously, these are all boss enemies. There's also boars and wolves next to them. I can't fight all of them at once, but what I can do is find anything in this area I can climb up on, and then kite them to it, make sure that, you know, I do the aggro-de-aggro trick on them, and then fight them that way. So, sometimes you have to experiment. Now, the mob can just kind of fall onto this, so I don't think this is a valid, like, thing. Now, this is too tall to climb up, I believe, but if I approach from here, I'd have to sprint up this hill, and then I can maybe climb on that side? No? This might be a viable little ledge. So what I'm going to do is we're going to try it. We're going to try to isolate one of these boss mobs and use that wall, maybe, or I could chop down a tree and use that to kill them. All right, so this is attempt number 1. We're just going to shoot into the crowd, and we're just going to run. Okay, I don't know what I hit, but an old boar. Okay, that was like the last thing I want to kill. You can just kill the boar real quick with regular arrows. Who cares? Okay, so now we have okay. Those guys dropped aggro when their nameplate. Okay, we got Wary Ostiary. We got him solo, right? Jump up on the wall. There we go. Now there we go, and he's gonna melee, and we can reach him from here. So there we go. We just got Wary Ostiary. I'm gonna show you his rare drop, and he's a beefy boy. Look, he is tanking these hits, but his bow does the same damage as a regular mob. So, again, we got one of the 4 rare mobs here. And we got the to eradicate abstract 7. Which, I don't remember what that makes. I think, oh, it's probably like a shield. I think that's a shield. I'm not sure. Alright, so this is pull number 2. Again, we got these damn boars. There we go. Hit the boar. For whatever reason, these guys are like, they want to defend the boar. But we're just going to run away after shooting. And see who drops aggro first. Let's go. Manic Torturer. So they dropped aggro. Let's shoot one. Boom. We got the Manic Torturer. Here he comes. We need to run up this hill, though, because this guy's going to hit hard. Ugh. Okay, there we go. And now he's going to cast his spells, which hurts pretty hard. It does hurt hard. Now he's going to bow us. And there we go. So that's another rare mob down. And again, this is how you do it in dungeons. You just constantly kite. You just constantly kill. And that's Abstract 6. That is the Torturer's Sword, which is a tank sword. It's not very good for solo players. Actually quite useless for solo players, but you might be able to barter or trade with a clan or something. Alright, let's kill the damn boar. Let's just straight up kill the boar. And now we have a Veritas, who is possibly a bow user, but hey, remember, we can literally trade bow users. I'm stuck in a ditch. Come on, Veritas. There we go. Now, let's see if he stays ranged or not. If he does, okay, I guess I'm gonna no, he dropped aggros. Come back. We're not done with our duel. So if he's a ranged hero, you just trade, which is the quicker way to do it. Now, obviously, if you don't have health regeneration food or heal spells, you wouldn't really want to trade with this guy. And what does he drop? He is Law 1-6. And according to the website here, paxday.gaming.tools, which I'll show you right now, to eradicate Law 1-6 is the Cap of Reassurance rare. So there we go. It's that easy to get healing magic. Now, this is Inquisitor Pura, which might have magic. I don't remember what this one does. Well, he's just gonna bow me anyway, because I'm using the glitch. Again, guilds they don't want you to know about this, so they're not making videos about it. Ooh, Opal. Law 4. Alright, and also, those content creators, the official ones that got the game for free, which, hey, Pax Dei, you missed your chance. You could have gave me the game for free. Now I'm gonna release all the game secrets. No. Right, so... there we go. We just killed 4 boss mobs. Got items that will give us spells, and it's that easy. It's that simple. Here we go. Now this one is a little bit harder. Remember, this is a caster, right? And so to fight casters, we don't have a lot of line of sight options. We have this rock, and bows are your best friend. I have 60 shots remaining. We could definitely take this guy down. Alright, so this is attempt number 1 on the Entranced Exorcist, and I believe this is the Mesmerize or the Fireball spell. I don't remember, I think it's the Fireball spell, but let's go ahead and bow him. He's going to Fireball us. I have this rock. We're going to use it to try to... There's a Fireball. Yeah, okay, he delayed it, the cheeky boy. Oh, here he comes with a fire, wall. That's okay, we're just going to bow him. We have a tree. Good old nature. There we go, he hit the rock with this Fireball. And again, we're just gonna run him around. He's hitting the rock again. Now this is a much more difficult, harder to kill caster. There's the fire circle once again, and we're just gonna ring around the rosy, musical chairs him to death. Where's he at? Oh, he de-aggroed. What a little. He was like, I don't feel like fighting this dude. And again, I'm using wooden arrows from a tree. Okay, so he hit me with that one. 10 damage, not a big deal. Being caught on fire is what kills you. As long as you don't catch on fire, you're okay. Don't stand in the circle. Wait for it to go away, and then we can loot them. Just be patient. There we go. And red cabbage, even though it's green on the... Look, it's clearly green, but they're calling it red cabbage. I don't remember what else he dropped. Alright, so Abstract 4 is the Fireball spell. So that guy dropped the Fireball spell, but it requires level 23 leatherworking. I'm probably never gonna get that. It's a huge grind until they change things. Now let's talk about farming mobs. Now what I've done is I have explored this spooky forest, and I've noted every area where there is a large amount of bear or wolf or boar spawns, and I've marked them on the map with a little star. Also, who is mooing? What is that noise? Weird. Also, those mobs I just fought sometimes spawn over here. So, again, the flickering lights is really freaking stupid. But I just also want to point out, too, that you can get some really good food buffs in these spooky forests, like this Chanterelle here. I'm going to go ahead and pick one up, and that is 31 health. That's really nice when fighting mobs. There's another one that's 41 health, and there is a Morel, which is 0.4 health regeneration. So you just eat 3 of those, and you're basically good to go. There's a bunch of wolves. Now, the deadly vectors don't have any drops. So actually, that's just a few wolves. So what I'm going to do is not get too close to them and climb the tree with our technique. So, again, so that's, yeah, we're going to slip off of that one. So, again, you need to find a tree that you're not slipping off on. Let's try this one. There we go. And now, the cool thing about wolves and animals is, if they're by themselves, they won't run at you. But because they're in a group, they will run directly under you, and then they just try to attack you, but they can't. And then you just sit on the tree, and then you kill them. And I made a whole video on how to level up your weapons very, very quickly to maximum skills, which, as you can see, I have level 41 blocking. I made a video on that. 41 bows and 41 polearms and 41 hand spears. So, again, this is how you max out your weapons easy peasy with 0 effort. And, yeah, you just sit here, and this is how you farm all the corrupted stuff. This is how you farm all the mobs. And like I said on my little map, I've made a note of every single big, massive amount of, like, wolf spawns. So I can kill, like, 8 to 10 wolves per pool. And while these are corrupted wolves and deadly vectors, they have the highest HP pool out of the wolves. I normally don't kill them because corrupted wolves and deadly vectors don't have a proper loot table. But dire wolves and I forget what the other wolves are called. They have a dumb name. But those things drop they drop very high level hides, and it's very easy to acquire lots of them so that you can level leatherworking. And if you made it this far in the video and you're one of those, this is exploiting, this is not how the game's meant to be played. Listen, Buster, I didn't make the game, okay? If the game was meant to be played a different way, then they should have made it better, alright? It's not my job to conceal this kind of info from the public, okay? Listen, man. If anything, a dev might watch this video and be like, we don't want players advancing so quickly or having such an easy time in our game. Let's make it difficult and patch it. And if I never made the video, what if the devs never patched it? So, effectively, I'm helping develop the game. You can thank me in the comments if you want. And they're all dead, so let's look at the loot. So this is the corrupted wolf. Ew, gross. At least the wolf carcass. At least it drops a wolf carcass. Whereas these the deadly vectors drop just a bone and a sinew. Absolutely worthless drops. Also, Hawthorne, that's 0.1 health again. Don't need that. So if you don't have any cooking levels, this is what I'm talking about, morale. And there's a bunch of foods like this in the game. This one gives 0.4 health regeneration, which is a huge amount. Like, you're not going to unlock 0.4 health regeneration food until level 16, 18, something like that. I don't know exactly, okay? But very useful. And if you want to know where to get it, just go to paxdei.th.gl, type in morale, click on your province, which is whatever map you're on, and you can see here there's 3 spots. Top left of the map, middle, and bottom left, that's where I'm at. So yeah, just go out, get you like a whole inventory full, and you're all set. Now also, if you're wondering, how can I see stuff on the ground so damn well? I made a video on my channel that shows exactly how to do that. And that video looks just like this. It is called Pax Dei How to See Items Easier, Best Settings, Remove Grass, Increase FPS, Optimal Graphics. Go check it out on my channel. And it's going to teach you how to see everything on the ground super easy, see enemies in the distance, reduce fog, all that fun stuff. So here's a bunch of wolf spawns in the distance. I can see them very clearly. And boars too. Now, I don't want to get too close because I don't want to aggro them. So what I'm going to do is find a suitable tree to perch up on, just like so, which I didn't climb it correctly. Jump and then move on it, and then we won't fall off the side. And now with our trusty bow, we're going to shoot at the wolves or hit them, which I landed hit. But sometimes they de-aggro. See how those two de-aggroed? Their names turned white. Just shoot them again. Here they come. That one's still trying to go away. Shoot at them again. Get back here, boys. Once they get down under you, they'll stay aggroed, and that's fine. Now, there was another pack over here somewhere. It's a little hard to see, but yeah, there's like a boar and stuff over there. So let's shoot that one. Here they come. And you can see here, we just have a ton, and there's even more animals in the distance that we need to grab. But yeah, here they come. So you can see here that we're about to farm an entire pile of creatures. Get over here, Growler. That's the name. Sounds like isn't that a Pokemon? Growler? Or Growlithe or something? I don't know. Hey, old boar. Where are you going? Get back over. Yeah, get back here. Where are you going? So now, look at this. I have like 10 mobs here. This is 10 hides. This is 10 meats, carcasses. This is, you know, all the good stuff that these animals drop. And these are high in-game mobs that a 20-man clan raid group needs heals and supports and buffs and steel armor to take on. But you can take this on naked with a pointy stick. That's, like, I solved the game. I just solved the game for you, okay? And there we go. Now we just loot and scoop. There we go. Just yoink it all. Look at these. This is a pile of meat, bro. It's just like a big old pile of meat. And again, I gotta like throw out resin. We don't need resin. We don't need bones. What else do we? I don't need apples. Why do I have apples or silver tree branches? I don't need sapwood. I don't need extract anymore. I'm already leveled up on that, so there we go. But yeah, carved color stone. That's another thing for crafting, you know. And I definitely want that. And yeah, see, it's that easy. And I could just run around and farm all of these up on timer every 15 minutes. And, you know, just run over to a base nearby and just deposit that stuff. And just ping pong back and forth. Oh, and by the way, want to increase your farming faster than guilds? Check this out. So I want to go from right here on the map to right here. But this is a good little 7 to 8 to 10 minute walk, right? Oops, settings, unstuck, confirm. Watch what is about to happen. You can do this like every 5 to 10 minutes. It's nuts, right? And there we go. So I think, actually, no. I messed up. It actually put me over here. So, hey, I went from here to here, so I can farm these spawns at least. But if I was closer to this one, I would be on my way back a little bit faster. Now, as for other humanoids in the game, like the Zerbians, those guys don't have bows. They have magic, and their magic hits through walls. So you can't use the wall technique. You have to wait until you have Fireball and Mesmerize, and then you can kill them. It's a little slow, but you can absolutely do it. Also, note this little unstick thing that I just taught you. It is on a timer. It's not a long timer. It's not like 30 minutes or anything. It's more like 7 minutes or something. It's really not that long at all. And again, what it'll do is it's going to teleport you to the nearest little guide stone within the region. So the region is, right now I'm in the Wildlands, I guess you can call it. I don't really know what to call it. But essentially, it's going to teleport me either to this one or this one. But if I'm like right on the border of this red line and I'm standing right here, it's still going to teleport me within this zone. It's not going to teleport me up here into a new zone. And I'm getting fireballed by that caster. So I'm just going to run away. I've already got a bunch of his amulets. And hey, look, it's the rare mobs that are back over there if I wanted to farm them. But I've already got all the stuff I need from them. I don't need to keep killing them, right? Now, one final tip for doing dungeons. Now, dungeons are filled with these are dungeons, these big-ass, like, caves. They're, like, full of wolves and stuff, right? When doing dungeons, all right, you're gonna see, like, if you watch streamers and the sponsored YouTubers, they're gonna be playing them legitimately, right? They're gonna be sitting there, and they're going to be essentially, you know, with a clan, a bunch of people, healers, tanks, DPS, all that kind of stuff. You don't need to go into these dungeons and clear mob after mob after mob. That's stupid. There's a few things that you can do to skip the dungeon and go straight to the boss, alright? And some of these are a little exploity, a little bit. But the first one is lag switching. This is when you pull your Ethernet cord out, and then you run forward past some mobs and plug it back in. You will then, in the game, teleport past them without aggroing them. The second is that you could just run past them anyway, and as long as they aren't a spellcaster or, you know, some one-shottable super wolf that manages to tag you, all you have to do is jump up on a ledge, and then to de-aggro them, you just log out of the game, wait a few minutes, log back in, you're going to be put right back in the same spot, and then you run past, and you continue to repeat until you get to the dungeon boss, and then you lame the dungeon boss on a ledge. It's that simple, it's that easy, and you basically, once you have the boss pulled and you do the log out trick, they're going to de-aggro and slowly walk their way back to where they, you know, normally stand. You just log back in quick enough if you have a good enough computer. And you'll notice here I'm about to do the unstuck trick again. So here we go. I just passed the red line, and I live right over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and unstuck that and save myself a little 3 to 4 minute walk and go teleport next to my house. So there you go. Woo! There it is. Easy teleport magic, boys. And I made a video on how to build this base. This base it's a one plotter, perfect for solo players. You can fit multiple refining stations, crafting stations, storage, and with plenty of room to boot. I've made an entire video about it. Please go check it out on my channel. And this is just the first floor. That's like kind of the cooking, crafting floor. This one is more of the industrial floor. Also, I got the big kilns, like where you can walk under them. Yes, I do glitch my buildings. That's right. I teach you all about it in that video. And that video has a pinned comment with an unlisted video, which is you have to go to that video to find it. So definitely worth a watch there. Anyway, so that's basically it for solo players. That's how to conquer the entire game completely solo. No guilds necessary. Get all your damn equipment. Get your grind done. Get mobs killed. Get magic spells. No need to suck guild toes. No need to bend your knees and beg for items. No need to slave away, mining and toiling for hours for some other doofus for his virtual greed. You can do it all completely by yourself, no help necessary, all because you watched the only YouTuber who was not sponsored by this game. By the way, I just want to mention that all the other YouTubers that are covering this game, all of them, every single one of them, are sponsored by the game. And I'm not. They forgot somebody. They forgot me. And you know, they should have given me a copy of the game. They should have not ignored me. They shouldn't have banned me on the Discord. They shouldn't have banned me on the Steam forums. And this is what they get. They deserve what they get. I'm going to be teaching you all the things about this game and how to completely bend it to your will and make it, the game itself, suckle on your toes. Even though the game is basically dying, it's down to like 3,000 players and like no one's playing it because, you know, people are smart. People are dumb, right? They know that the game is a cash grab. They know that the game is, you know, some sort of venture capitalist like wombo jumbo. They know that the literal game director doesn't even play video games. He said he plays like a card game that his friend is making. Bro, what about all the video games in the past? Have you never played a video game in your life? Never played WoW? Never played EverQuest? Never played Ultima Online? Never played anything? Excuse me? What the hell are you doing developing a game? Never played Rust? Never played Animal Crossing? What the hell are you doing, bro? Like, just shoot, go get a job at your grocery store. Go change the price tags every Tuesday night for the next 13 years. Go do that, son. All right? Anyway, that's the video. Thank you so much. And leave a like. And again, I'm the only honest Pax Dei YouTuber out there. And with that said, on the right side of your screen is a video you should absolutely click. If you don't click it, the next time you do go to a grocery store, the lines are going to be so outrageously long. There's only going to be one cashier, and she won't know how to count change back to the person in front of you, which is going to hold you up even longer, and then you're going to be like, what the hell? How do you not know how much a dime is worth or nickels? Excuse me? Like, why? Who hired this person? Why are you working? What's the deal with that? Anyway, that's the video. Thank you so much. Mwah.